Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to another video. This time I thought I would try and start a little thread going. Now whether it catches on or not I do not know. But what I've decided to do is to see if I can spell out my channel name with album titles. So there's 13 letters in my name, so I have to show 13 albums. Now I know that some channel names are longer than others. I'm looking at you, Headley, another fat bearded man talking about records. But you can still do it by taking the keywords like bearded man records. That actually sounds like a good name for a record label, Bearded Man Records. Or there's some that are very short with numbers. I'm looking at you, Carm. For example, Gorvo 31, so you could do the Gorvo and then for 31 you could use a T or even a T and an O. But anyway, I'll start here and the first letter is R. I'm going to have to show some CDs because not all these albums have ever been released on vinyl. And the first one I'm going to show is the Proclaimers' Restless Soul from 2005. And this has the fantastic Every Day I Try on it. It's one of my favourite songs of theirs. The single itself is Restless Soul. Turning Away is a great song. DIY is as catchy as you'll get. This is a great Proclaimers album. All Proclaimers albums are at least very good. This is the higher level. I absolutely love this and I would love this to come out in vinyl, but as yet it hasn't. So that's the first R. I think there's a couple of R's in my name. Yes, there is. So that's the first R to be featured. And I'm going to go with I Fell in Love by Carlene Carter. I know I've shown this quite a few times, but the reason I show it a lot is because I love it a lot. This is my favourite country album of all time from 1990. It's a real yee-haw album. My Dixie Darling, the old Carter family song, I can't play it once, I have to play it about 3 times in a row. The leaving side is fantastic, Goodnight Dallas, and the single itself, I Fell in Love, is absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think one of the Heartbreakers plays on this, Ben Tench, so he's in the video for I Fell in Love anyway. So that's my I. Okay, C, and I'm going to go with this fantastic album, pardon the pun. It's Captain Fantastic and the Brown Dirt Cowboy by Elton John, 1975, probably a second best album. Yeah, the hit single off this was Someone Saved My Life Tonight, which is amazing. But We All Fall in Love Sometimes, going into Curtains at the very end, is brilliant as well. Tower of Babel is brilliant, and one of his best ever songs is the title track. There's also a really good song off this called Better Off Dead, which is it's a very catchy little almost rocky number. But he actually played that live whenever I saw him in 1986. That's going back a bit. He played the King's Hall in Belfast and he was fantastic. I didn't realise how good a pianist he was. He was magnificent, and it was really great to hear that then as well. Love this album, and that gets my C. For H, I'm going to go with easy one, Highway 61 Revisited by Bob Dylan, Tombstone Blues, Just Like Tom Thumb Blues, Like a Rolling Stone, Desolation Row, all fantastic songs. Highway 61 Revisited itself from a Buick 6, Ballad of a Thin Man, brilliant Bob Dylan album, love it, from 1965. And A is actually my third favourite album of all time, and it's the Beatles' Abbey Road. You know, I just can't say anything. I can't really talk about this because it's perfect. Side 2 is absolutely perfect. Maybe side 1 is not quite as good, but there's very little in it. Absolutely brilliant album, and it's my favourite Beatles album, obviously, if it's my third favourite of all time. So Abbey Road from 1969. Okay, the next R I'm going to pick from 1984, and it's Lloyd Cole Commotion's Rattlesnakes. This is a really good album. I loved this so much at the time. Perfect Skin would be the most well-known song off this, but songs like Speedboat, Patience, Charlotte Street, 4 Flights Up, and Are You Ready to Be Heartbroken, which was covered by Sandy Shaw. This is a really strong album, as is their second album, Easy Pieces, which I would tend to play more now because I nearly overplayed this, but it's still there. I really do enjoy it, and it's a fantastic album. So that's Rattlesticks from 1984. D, to finish off the Richard part, and it can't be anything else but the best album ever released, and that's Diamond Dogs. Not a lot to say about this, but Sweet Thing Candidate, Sweet Thing Reprise is one of the finest recordings ever. Big Brother going into Chant of the Ever Circling Skeletal Family is brilliant as well. There's nothing bad off this, it's all fantastic and it's all different. The thing about this album, there's so many different styles of music in this album, but it's so cohesive as well. There's even a spoken part which I'm normally not that keen on, but it works so well. Future Legend, you have the Stones rock of Diamond Dogs, you've got the glam rock of Rebel Rebel. It's a fantastic album, I love it. And then you have that funk of 1984, almost disco-y type of 84. We Are the Dead is very gothic, and you've got a gorgeous ballad in Rock and Roll With Me. I said I wasn't going to talk about this, I haven't shut up about it. It's a brilliant album. Okay, we'll go on to the McCook part, and for M I'm actually going to pick this one and Dire Straits Making Movies, and side one of this is perfect. Tunnel of Love and Romeo and Juliet are two of my favourite Dire Straits songs of all time. Skate Away is really good as well. Hand in Hand on side 2 is excellent, and Espresso Love is a good song. Side 2 is maybe not quite as strong as side 1, but this is probably my favourite Dire Straits album, so Making Movies for M. So the first C in my name, and I'm going to give it to well, it's actually the second C in my name, but the first C in my surname, give it to Roxy Music's 1974 album Country Life, and the hit single off this is All I Want Is You. The thrill of it all. Casanova is brilliant. In fact, he re-recorded Casanova for his Let's Stick Together solo album, Brian Ferry. And then Prairie Rose, which is the closer of this, which is a really great song, and it was covered by Big Country. This is my favourite of the early Roxy Music albums, and my favourite of the later ones would be Avalon, so Country Life gets C. The next C I'm going to give it to Cosmo's Factory by Creedence Clearwater Revival, and this and Willie the Poor Boys are two of my favourites. I'm not sure which one I prefer. Up Around the Bend, the riff on that is amazing. Ramble Tamble is one of the best openers ever, and the guitar work on that is fantastic. Travelling Band's a good song. Who'll Stop the Rain is obviously brilliant, and then it finishes with the gorgeous and the fantastic vocals of Long As I Can See the Light, which is a beautiful song. Run Through the Jungle is also on this. Then you get the little country type number of Looking Out My Back Door. Brilliant album. I think this is from 1970. I'm not sure, is it 69, but Cosmos Factory, C. So O, and the first O is going to be one of the finest double albums ever, Out of the Blue by Electric Light Orchestra. Side 3 of this is perfect. The Concerto for a Rainy Day, Standing in the Rain, Big Wheels, Summer and Lightning, and Mr. Blue Sky, and the rest of it is just nearly every bit as good. Sweet Talking Woman is a fantastic single. Jungle is really great fun, and Stepping Out is beautiful. Jeff, I know that you've been playing a couple of ELO albums. This one is brilliant. It is quite Beatle-esque in a way, but what is Beatle-esque? It's just, they're really good songs. That's what they are. They're really good songs. And then the last side you have Wild West Hero, Sweet as the Night. The only thing I'm not too keen on this is Birmingham Blues. It's the only one I never really liked. I think it's out of place, but fantastic album, Out of the Blue. And the next O I'm going to give it to is Mike Oldfield's On the Dawn, which is his third album, and this is it's almost a Celtic feel of this album. It's really good. I find it really difficult to describe Mike Oldfield albums because it's just music. But even the last bit on this, On Horseback, which was a double A side with Indulce Jubilo, is great. I love this album. As I say, his third album. Many people think his first 3 albums, that's it, you can forget about the rest. I'll say no. He did do a follow-up to this called Return to Omadon a couple of years ago, but the true follow-up, I believe, to this album is one called Amarok, which is my favourite Mike Oldfield album of all time. But this is absolutely amazing. It's great music, so that gets my oh. And to finish with K, and I've shown this quite a few times, and it's the best album from 1980, and it's Adam and the Ants, Kings of the Wild Frontier, and this is brilliant. 3 hit singles, Dog Eat Dog, Ant Music, and Kings of the Wild Frontier. There could have been about 7 hit singles taken off this. This is really good, and this is what started Ant Mania in 1981. The follow-up was Prince Charming, which was nearly as good. It's a very underrated album, Prince Charming, but this is just absolutely brilliant. I love this, and I think my favourite song off this is Making History or Los Rancheros. So that's K. So that's my channel name spelt out with some of my favourite albums. If you want to have a go at this, by all means do. I don't know how many will, but it's good. It's challenging, put it that way. And I was really hoping that I had a B in my name, but I don't, because I wanted to put my second favourite album of all time, Bridge Over Troubled Water, in, but no, I don't have a B. Okay, that's me for now. I hope to have another video quite soon. All the best now. Bye bye.